Heyo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I keep singing.
No. No, welcome welcome in. If you are watching live, it is Wednesday, the 15th of November. We are 5 Mondays away from that day, and that upsets me.
That day?
Christmas.
Oh, that day. Why'd you have to remind me?
Well, yeah, that's why I said that day. And then you got inquisitive, so
Because you
curiosity
confused
killed the
me.
bun.
I thought it was a Seekers thing.
No. No seekers. Actually very curious to see if there will be a Christmas Eve edition.
Oh, it's...
Because Christmas Day is a Monday.
Oh. Birthday's a Sunday.
Seekers for your birthday.
Yeah.
Lucky you. But actually, you
That
know what?
remains to be seen.
Well, as far as this chapter goes, welcome into the Coke Run Podcast Mini, episode 38? 9?
What
Looking
chapter is this?
this this is 3-8, so this is episode 39.
39. Yeah.
And it's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it would have as much weight to it if we didn't have all these flashback things.
Are you stealing my words from before the show?
I read it first. I read it first, and I had those thoughts before you vocalized them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't. Stealing my words.
No. But anyway.
Anyway. No, you're right. It wouldn't. I do like that. I'm not sure if I like that it's sepia toned again.
I do, because it's gone back to, like,
Well, it's gone back to the chapter colors,
yeah.
but I don't know. I feel like that was better reserved for flashbacks, but it also kind of works because these are two people from the flashbacks, I guess.
Yeah, I think the sepia. I think this color, for the flashbacks was just kind of a happy coincidence. I don't know if it was intended or not, but I do like it starts off with Yulin reading Leon's file.
Yeah.
And and then she gets talking with the professor about how Leon went DMIA. Apparently, even the Digipolice knows what a Royal Knight is, and
yeah, they like have, well, they don't exactly have code names for them, but they shorten it down.
classification or K.
Yeah. Well, I guess they've just come into contact with them before.
Yeah.
I guess the Digipolice has kind of been continuing his research as well.
Yeah.
In a way, so.
Because she thought it was interesting that he was wearing a bracelet just like hers, but in a different color.
Yeah.
So we know then that the bands on all of these are the same type of band as well.
Yeah.
Which, kind of upsets me even more that we're not getting a Pultzmon colored one when that chip comes out.
Yeah.
Or a white one for the Digipolice. Or a purple one for the Sons of Chaos, I imagine.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I'll have to buy lots of AG ones and just dunk them in paint. But yeah, no, what? So she's reading the file. The professor comes in, and they start talking, and they kind of talk about the confrontation with AG, and she's like, "Well, would AG have had any reason to, DMIA him intentionally?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, that was just an unfortunate accident." And he's basically
little does he know.
Yeah, it was kind of he kind of leans on her to not go on to not go too hard on AG or to go after him,
like he should have done with Leon.
Yeah,
Leon won't be in this situation if you said that to him.
No, and Yulin's kind of like, why would I? And he went, well, because I did that for you and Kosuke.
Yeah.
And even she seems to know that Tartarus is Kosuke.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to guess.
No, it's not.
If you know that Tartarus
was their project, yeah.
So. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it was
But she's like, well, I can't really give too much leeway to Kosuke because, he is an international criminal and all.
Yeah,
Eiji's
but
okay, he's only like...
he's a code cracker that he's under Ryusenji's employ, and Ryusenji asked him to infiltrate the Sons of Chaos.
Yeah, so she's in on the plan at least, so...
Yeah. And he brings up Satsuki in like my favorite part of this chapter.
Oh, that made me laugh.
Where he's like, "Oh, your subordinate Satsuki. I'm a big fan of hers and her interest in slugs. And between you and me, I'm also a fan of her secret channel where she shows off her slug collection."
He literally just called her Satsuki the slug lover. Yeah. No wonder she likes Numamon.
Yeah.
Are there any other slug ones that are not Numamon types?
No, not off the top of my head. No, like you've got Numamon, you've got Garamon, which are just like yellow Numamon.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Numamon and the snail shells.
Oh yeah. So essentially he is a slug if there's a snail version of it. Yeah.
But that was my favorite part of the whole thing, was just like Satsuki the slug lover.
Yeah.
Or Satsuki the slug girl. Or whatever he called her, and and then I'm a fan of her secret channel. I'm like, bitches on YouTube showing off her slug collection.
Only slugs.
Yeah. And he's just, I just imagine like, Ryusenji gets a notification on his phone. Oh, a new video. Interesting. And Yulin's just kind of like,
yeah.
Can we just move on?
Oh, Lugomon is missing from our...
Oh, he is. I'll bring him back up here.
Hey, buddy. They talk about you in this chapter too.
They do, because Ryudomon makes an appearance, and he gives a very, polite hello, nice to meet you. And they get talking about the interfaces on their heads and how we get sort of the confirmation we were looking for in that Ryusenji gave Kosuke and Yulin their prototypes.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And he's talking about them being like living fossils, like that fish.
The coelacanth?
Yeah.
Coelacanth?
I never know how to pronounce that.
I think it's seal. Yeah, which is weird, but yeah, so, but it doesn't mean that their specs are out of date or anything. They're just older types of Digimon. Like they've been around for a while.
Older models per se. They're
same software, different case.
Yeah.
And then they get talking about Lugomon, and that's kind of how AG comes into it, because she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking into Codecracker AG because he bested one of my." And that's how the thing about Satsuki comes up.
Because she's not like, oh, we have to go after him, or anything. She's just like, he's on our radar, but he hasn't, has he done anything illegal really? I'm pretty sure Satsuki fired at him first.
Yeah. Like it really, if you go back over that chapter, it is self-defense.
Yeah.
But what he's doing as a code cracker is the legal gray area.
Yeah.
But I suppose it does, that video for the chapter does, where AG's at home and then there's a knock on his door. I guess Yulin and AG are going to have a proper face-to-face now, maybe next week or the following.
Yeah, but when someone knocks on his door, isn't it a male voice that's talking through the door? Maybe it's Ryusenji going, don't tell them you were going to murder him. Don't break down.
Or is it Tartarus coming looking for him?
But
yeah, and then there's the stuff in the chapter where he's got a live feed of this tube or this capsule that Saya's being kept in.
Yeah, and I pictured
in my head, all I can see is the tube Harry is in Spider-Man. The box Norman's keeping him in.
No, I was thinking more of the thing that, what's her name in World's End Club is floating in? Is her name Vanilla? Or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in a tube like that as well.
Yeah.
Or Mrs. Freeze.
Yeah, Nora. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something like that. Just although I pictured it to be a bit more round. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you hear capsule, you think tablet shaped. So that makes sense. And then
she's not aged a day.
Yeah, I love, and we took kind of like we're talking about that as well. Like, has she been aging while she's been in this coma or whatever? And apparently no. And they try, and I don't know how true this is. Like, I'd have to look into the sciencey aspect of it, but they do try and explain it away at the very least, that because she's in a coma, her metabolism has slowed down, and that's why she's not aging.
Well, Yulin says that in her head, but she's not sure if that's true or not, if she just read it in a book.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Well, so it might not be true.
It's an explanation.
Yeah.
Possibly. But then there's the worrying bit, like if she does get her soul back, is her body just going to like instantly age and catch up? Or is she going to end up like Miyuki in Survive? You know, a woman displaced in time because she's been in the digital world for so long that...
Yeah, that's what we were saying. It really depends on if she's just going to wake up and it's been 10 minutes for her, or if she's had a whole life in the digital world.
Yeah.
So, because when it first came up that she was floating in a capsule, I was like, is that the core? Is he watching her in the core? What?
No.
But I was like, no, that couldn't possibly. Yeah.
They've just got a camera feed on this.
Yeah.
On this capsule while she's in this facility in America. So... You know, but it's
DMIAs are kept secret.
Yeah, they're
random doctor just goes, no, he fell into a coma. No explanation.
Well, would you want, I mean, from what we've understood about the universe so far, like the governments are trying to keep the whole digital world thing under wraps from the general populace anyway, because them learning that there is a whole other world parallel to ours would apparently cause chaos. So would you want to tell them that they went into they got Eden syndrome, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, that's what I mean, but it's just like inexplicable coma. Next.
Yeah, and it happens so infrequently that, you know, no one would probably second guess it.
Yeah.
You know, medical mysteries happen all the time. So but yeah, no, I did. I really enjoyed this one. It's a nice follow-up, if not a bit of not closure, but it is a nice sort of follow-up from the like the flashback chapters we've been getting, and you know, getting an idea of where Yulin's perspective is and all this, because it even says like she sees Saya and doesn't really flinch. It doesn't make her feel anything.
Yeah, what happened that day kind of just knocked all the feelings out of her. Yeah, basically. And then she was like thinking about, what if she hadn't like gone DMIA, they might have a kid, or you might be a grandfather, and then she goes, shut up. Yeah. Stop thinking about unnecessary things. So I think she's masking quite a bit.
Oh, definitely. Like, I'm fully expecting like
that grief is just there bubbling under the surface.
That's what I was getting to. I'm fully expecting a chapter later where she just has a breakdown and you know, we'll find out just how much she is missing Satsuki or Saya even. Too many S's. Oh, it was a bad crack. I didn't even intend to. I just kind of turned my head and
that happens to me sometimes.
And it was just like, it was a crunch rather than a...
Yeah.
It was like, it felt like, I know that's not what happened, but it feels like the bone like compacted on itself rather than expand.
Yeah.
And it was just a nasty...
I get a feeling like that. You know that bit that feels like a big vein going up the side of your neck there?
Oh, yeah.
Just behind your ear. Sometimes when I turn my head, it feels like that, like snaps.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where it was. Like, so... But but what I really did like about this as well is, like, again, it carries the weight of the flashback stuff with it, but it's also kind of nice to see these characters are still like tied to each other in some regard. You know, like there was a thing about how, you know, Ryusenji covered for Yulin and Kosuke's part in Saya going DMIA.
Yeah.
And because otherwise she never would have made it to the Digi-police or...
Yeah, so, oh yeah, we got a little bit of backstory on her. She kind of went rogue for a little while after that happened and became like a code cracker hacker herself. She didn't kind of define it herself.
Yeah.
Just did whatever. And then the police needed someone for cybersecurity, so they picked her up.
Yeah. So it's like, and that happens in real life.
Yeah, like I was only saying that the other day on Crosswords? Was it Crosswords? Oh. Something. We were talking about something like that. No, it was Next Order, was it?
Probably, yeah, I think it was Next Order.
Anyway, it was one of the streams, and I was saying, you know, the FBI do that.
Yeah.
If there's hackers out
Red
there.
Hat and so White Hat hackers and yeah.
If you're good enough, come work for us instead of being against us.
Yeah, we'd rather pay you to help us rather than risk you being a liability.
Yeah.
So that is a thing that happens, and that's pretty cool. But I didn't like this, like the bit where like Ryusenji's going back to like petting his hololized Betamon.
Yeah.
So can we take it that Betamon is, for lack of a better term, like Ryusenji's partner?
At the moment, it's definitely his pet.
Yeah.
It said it was sitting on top of Leon.
Which I thought was... which sounds really cute.
Yeah, like, does he just leave it there to watch him? To keep him company?
Yes.
And he comes in and picks it up. And, yeah, it doesn't do anything. It just kind of sits there.
Yeah, it just sits there, like, minding him. Like, which I thought was just, like, the most adorable thing. And I'm hoping that we might see fan art of that, of like Betamon just looking over Leon while he, while he's in this coma or whatever.
Yeah, like when you see like a little kid at the side of the bed or something.
Yeah.
That'd be really cute.
And yeah, I don't know. There's just like, it's not a long shit. Like it's not a massively like world splitting like chapter of revelations or anything.
Yeah.
But what I've really liked is just seeing how, coming on from the flashbacks and stuff, how all these people's lives are still kind of connected and how they're becoming reconnected through AG and Leon. And
we did learn that the company took a hit.
Yeah. And then some venture fund came in and saved it.
Yeah, and that's why they had to rebrand to Abaddon instead of Ryusenji Laboratories or whatever.
And she was imagining like if Ryusenji had kept the company name on, would he be this like multi-millionaire CEO who's yucking it up with the bigwigs and things like that? But
I don't think the bigwigs would want to hang out with him. I think he's a bit too weird. He'd be the little nerdy boy in the corner with his pet. They're all like, what the hell? Who is this guy?
I'm sure he can handle himself and
they're all there with their brandy and their cigars, and he's sitting there petting his
hologram.
But,
and then it was like the bit where he's like, look, these children are going to eclipse me at some point, and like they were talking about how AG's DS levels like rival that of Saya's, which even Yulin's taken aback by that, like.
Yeah, because we know she bonded the most with.
Yeah.
What does DS stand? We never found out what.
I don't think we know yet. No. But like she was taken aback by it, and like the really funny thing of, which I thought it was funny anyway. Like no matter how much the technology has evolved in itself and advanced, the measurements are still looked at in the same light. And that okay, and then. Like if AG is on the same level as Saya, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're setting up for something there.
Saya versus AG.
Could you imagine? That'd be fun, but
she's a royal knight now.
Well, no, well.
Can you imagine?
Well, if she's in the Black Agumon's Digi-hear, I mean, depending on what evolution route that takes, we could get Angst War Greymon.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She would be angsty, too. She misses her family.
But it also really kind of makes me think, like, we really are setting up that this is going to be our team. Like, there is going to be that decision that's made. Okay, we have to go after Kosuke. and B, then we have to try and save Saya and Leon. And our team of like, mind linkers for I don't want to call them Digidestined or chosen or anything. They're not. I suppose they are technically tamers, but anyway, like app like our app drivers.
Yeah.
These are our mind linkers, and like so it's going to be a team presumably of AG, Yulin, Kosuke, Satsuki.
Yeah, I feel like she'd have to go into it. She's not a side character.
No.
Exactly. And we know she can fight in the digital world, so.
And
she'll just be the Sora.
What? Who? The AJ has no memory of that character.
Ryusenji can't go. He's a parent.
Yeah. But yeah, no, look, like overall, I think this might be my favorite now of chapter 3.
Yeah.
I think there was just enough to it. Having those, like, I really did love that first initial flashback where everybody's in the room and Saya brings Kosuke a change of clothes and hands everyone that like their their takeout tubs and everything. That was really fun from like a because it really put across the context that like this is a family.
Yeah.
Like, and Yulin is part of that, even if she's not married in or anything. She's she's
Saya's bestie.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were roommates. So Kosuke came along.
But it really did give this like feel of like this family business that was getting kickstarted and trying to make ends meet because everything they were trying was so new and the costs were so high because of the energy needed.
I don't think if they didn't have that kind of familial bond, I don't think they would have stuck around if it was being a failure.
Yeah.
Even if they were really into it, I feel like students who are only in it for, they'd go to a more successful
and that was kind of implied in one of the chapters as well, where they were talking about like
the part-timers.
And such. That was kind of inferred as well. And then, Ryusenji is just happy that, whether it be Digi-police, hackers, or code crackers, there are still people interested in researching anything to do with the digital world.
To take care of the Digimon.
And he feels like it's his responsibility to guide those people and cultivate them and just help them as best he can, equip them for the tasks ahead.
Yeah.
So it was just really nice, and maybe we'll start to see like I don't want it to happen like within the space of 2 or 3 weeks now with this, but I'm like maybe over time we start to see the mask crack on Yulin. As she gets caught up in everything again, and because her and Kosuke are going to be two very different personalities now. Kosuke seems to have gone where she hardened up and closed off. He seems to have gone wild and manic almost.
Yeah.
If the trailer is anything to go on.
Yeah.
It does,
like they are going to meet up and
there's going to be a clash there.
Yeah. So like is she gonna, because she's so tough now, is she gonna get just angry at him, or is she gonna have like is she gonna falter, or because it's been so long since she's seen her friend?
Yeah, is that where it all sort of bubbles to the surface and she can't hold it?
That's how he convinces her to help him open the door.
Yeah. So overall, so like this is like, I'm really curious to see where it goes. I'm hoping I guess we bring AG back into the story next week, because
I'm glad they didn't do it this week.
Yeah,
I feel like it was okay. It's sad enough that Leon's on the table and Saya's in the capsule or whatever, but this was kind of wholesome.
Yeah,
I didn't want the mood whiplash of going to AG bawling his eyes out in the apartment.
Yeah, especially since like
I don't know. Can he have Leon's apartment now?
But I don't know how. Like that's the other thing about like we say about Leon, like about AG like bawling his eyes out and whatever. When we left AG, he and Lugumon were like basically like clapping hand to paw at their let's go rescue our friends plan.
Yeah.
So I don't like if we cut back to AG next week and he's still sobbing, because that's a contradiction in the storytelling, and B, like, has it been so long you guys just forgot how you left him? Like, I don't want, like, I don't want it to follow the trailer exactly where he's crying and suddenly there's a knock on the door.
Yeah, maybe they're not connected. Like, maybe the crying was just him crying, and then the knock on the door is another day.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Because maybe he's not been showing up for, like, if it's Tartarus at the door, maybe he hasn't been showing up for any Sons of Chaos stuff. And they're checking
they've checked him, they've tracked him down.
Yeah, like, if he's not checking in online, how else can they talk to him? So they actually physically go to check up on him. Yeah. I don't think Marvin can. I think Marvin's in America.
Yeah, Marvin.
Physically, I think Marvin is in America, yeah.
Yeah, because when Dorumon and Tartarus visited him, they were hololized.
And yeah, and if it's Ryusenji at the door, that would make sense. He'd know where he lives. But yeah, I don't think it's Yulin at the door. I think there's unless that's another.
But this kind of ends off with her being like, "Look, I need to talk to AG. Like, I won't, I won't be a hard case on him, but I need to be I need to be seen to be doing my job here.
Yeah.
So, if he tells me, like, he'll tell me what he tells me, but I won't book him or anything for your sake, Ryusenji.
Yeah. Like, because it helps her that there's someone undercover in the Sons of Chaos.
It should, yeah.
So.
But I'm sure
annoyed that she didn't think of that.
Yeah, but I'm sure she wants to meet the person like who beat her lieutenant.
Yeah.
And also like someone who now she knows has, DS levels as high as Saya's, or at least is able, will possibly overtake Saya eventually. Like,
yeah,
I think she'd want to meet that person to see what makes them tick.
I feel like he's like gone further than Saya. I mean, in terms of skill and stuff, because she never got evolutions or anything like that.
No, like their first mission was an abject failure.
Yeah, so she never got a chance. Now, I know it depends exactly what goes into this DS value, but we know she had a stronger bond than the others.
Yeah, but the mind linking was still making her more sick. She wasn't able for it as well as the other two. She wasn't able to sync to the digital world as easily as the other two were.
At least she stopped pooping herself, right?
We can only hope. Can you imagine? Oh God, I really don't want that to be the punchline of a joke.
Oh no.
Where she gets her soul back and then suddenly.
Well, I mean, she's floating in a capsule. I'm assuming she's suspended in some kind of liquid.
That's worse.
Yeah, so I'm like they're not going. At least this isn't animated. She doesn't wake up and just vomit in the water and just down below.
But
no, that would be really disrespectful.
It would, and I don't think they'll do it. But that's what I'm saying. I really hope that's not like the punchline of a joke or something, But
she wakes up and suddenly grabs her butt while she's in the capsule, going, "Oh, it didn't happen." Okay. No, I don't think they'd go down that route with it.
Okay, we're getting sidetracked here, so let's move on.
Move on to what? Do you want to scroll through it just to make sure we didn't miss anything? I don't think we did.
No, I don't. Like, I think we covered like the basis of it. Fan art. There's 2 new pieces of fan art on the website, and we showed them off last week.
We got there before they did.
Yeah. So the 2 pieces of fan art are the ones with the with Lugamon and Pulsemon relaxing, and then that really cool Hell Lugermon black and white image. So we showed those off last week.
Yeah.
So there's no need to retread there. So as far as the novel goes, Leon lays in bed. Deputy squad leader, so she compiled the report on Leon. She's very shocked that the ultimate level Digimon hacker is just a kid. Lips are dry, complexion pale and gaunt, just like Saya. VX developed along Wholesome outskirts. Code ORK. Coordinates noted below. Um, VX for vortex. Oh, yeah, so a vortex developed along the Wholesome outskirts.
Yeah.
Code Royal Knight.
Yeah.
Even though, so there was this thing where she thought maybe Leon thought the Royal Knight would be on his side because they both fight for justice and protecting the digital world, and maybe he didn't think the Royal Knight would see him as a threat and would leave him alone, but
the Royal Knight doesn't know that.
No, the Royal Knight just sees threat, kill.
Yeah. Digimon, die.
Basically, yeah. So, the general rule among everybody, hackers, crackers, and police, were just don't look into the portals.
Yeah.
Just don't look into the vortexes. Just run. So, yeah, and then they get talking about the linker, and patient reported DMAA by codecracker AG. Also reported contact with the patient immediately prior to incident at DDL. The same model linker. This is the one AG had as well. The professor is just,
he jump scares her.
Yeah, because professor kind of just walks into the room while Yulin's thinking, and she's like, "Oh, this is a student of mine." He thinks she's the only trustworthy officer on the whole force. Leon was his favorite student. The equipment only, There's nothing, there's nothing really here that kind of warrants closer inspection, unless we were doing a read through.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the stuff about the Saya, the footage of Saya in the capsule. We know that Saya went rogue. She spent many years just Yulin even went rogue after the stuff with Saya happened. She's carried a lot of regret and agony and tears and etc. But
just numb.
Yeah, she's just numb. It's been so long, a whole new generation of students now study under Ryusenji, students who would have been babies back when Saya went missing, or I guess in Eiji's case may not have even been born yet.
Yeah.
There was this other funny line where because we were saying about how Yulin thought Saya looked ageless and immortal, and Ryusenji's like, you've never looked better. And she's just like, spare me. And he's like, no, I mean it. And she wonders if it's just easier to see things through rose-tinted glasses and, not dwell on, the bad stuff. And then, there's the stuff about imagining if Saya had lived.
He's gonna tell Leon's father the truth.
Because
he knows about Digimon and stuff.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. I mean, because Leon's dad is also in America. So I wonder, would they be able to do anything with that? Or, is he going to sort of get the American government involved? Or is that going to be a whole thing?
Yeah, they could just send him back and put him in a bubble too.
They could, yeah. He should know the truth if he doesn't already. So that implies that someone might have already told him, here, look, this is what's happened.
Stuff about AG.
Yeah, and about how he shows a lot of promise. And Ryusenji's just like, look, there's no point in me hiding or denying my connections to AG. He works for me. He's a member of the Sons of Chaos, and he's new and taking on leadership roles. We're aware he's bested my deputy squad leader. Yes, Satsuki the slug lover.
Just there, this was all a very unfortunate accident, Ryusenji said sternly, though it was only a theory. So he's not even sure if Leon intentionally did it or not. Or if AG intentionally did it to Leon.
Yeah, but we know he didn't. The idea was always just to drive him to the yell line to show Leon, look, I'm not messing around here, you stay away from me.
Yeah.
Leon, or AG couldn't, if it was Leon either, couldn't have anticipated Omegamon showing up and going, you belong to me now.
Yeah.
So, So I don't like it. Was unfortunately a very unfortunate accident. It was a series of unfortunate events, you might say. um, Satsuki the slug lover. This all about her secret account where she uploads her slug videos. Yulin lets out a pain sigh.
Yeah.
I love it. And then it's just the stuff. Yeah, he got you. Yeah, we learn about. Oh, Yulin asks, "Are you going to shield AG?" And he says, "Yeah, just like I did for you and Kosuke."
That's a bit manipulative.
Oh, it is, yeah. But I mean, we know Ryusenji's not above that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, he'd gone to lengths to prevent them both from having any admissions of responsibility regarding Saya's coma coerced out of them, and Yulin wouldn't be standing before him as a member of the Digi-police if he hadn't. And so she agrees, okay, look, I'll tread carefully with him. And he's like, that's all I ask. Just don't book him.
Yeah. You know? She also has a photo. Is that the photo? The two of them that she took when she was the third wheel?
I guess.
On the future site of the Denrin district?
Yeah, I guess it's the... Because it just says it's a photo of the last night she, Saya, and Kosuke were all together. Yeah. It doesn't say it's a photo of the three of them, so I imagine it's the photo she took of them, imagining the future like. And it just goes into how the different paths that they took. Yeah, Kosuke and Yulin.
Yeah, and then what happened to Ryusenji Electronics?
Yeah, and then the venture capital that came in with the influx of like funding and the changing of names and yeah, and then again, as I said, like their stories are all starting to intertwine again.
Yeah.
And then Ryudomon comes out and
talk
about the prototype Digimon and things like So like we kind of and then living fossils like the coelacanth and Ryudomon's a vaccine, Doraemon's a data type, and I know there's a virus type prototype out there.
Our surveillance network is a bit hung up on that one.
Yeah. AG's Lugomon. And they would be, because they must also know that to get through that door, you need all three types.
Yeah.
So they're...
Well, would they know that? Would the Digipolice know that?
I can't imagine that was
Kosuke and Marvin.
Yeah. But I can't imagine that like Yulin wasn't trying it as well or something, or got information or something. Because if her surveillance network is hung up on that, if they haven't gone to the gate themselves, they're aware of what's required. And maybe it's a case of, we have to get this thing on side before he does, kind of thing.
Maybe.
You know, it's better for us to have it and protect the populace, or, you know, to prevent anyone else going DMIA, than for the Sons of Chaos to have it and, you know, potentially put everything at risk.
Yeah.
DDL took Lugomon in from the Wholesome. It's very good, the details. And he entrusted it to AG, and again, D4, company secret. And then we learn about the DS values rivaling those of Leon, but and then down there, like, he might match Saya's levels.
Yeah.
But then you know, even though the technology has grown in leaps and bounds, like how they measure the values are all the same. And then they start talking about the interfaces on the foreheads.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that line.
What?
Just one last thing. Why give AG a prototype Digimon and a Digimon linker? To stave off boredom, I suppose.
And she's like, that's you, all right. Yeah. Very fitting answer. She says with a begrudging smirk. A useful sophistry, even if he was being sincere. And then it's like that whole thing about how one day young people will surpass his imagination, and it's his job to guide them. And then she's like, yeah, look, well, I still need to talk to AG. And then she gets a message from Satsuki saying like there's something weird going on in the digital world. And that's kind of where it ends.
Yeah.
But I did. Again, really enjoyed this from top to bottom. After having all those flashbacks, it was kind of nice to see modern Yulin and Ryusenji interact.
Yeah, because we were wondering last week if it was just maybe she comes to visit Saya, but now we know she's in America.
Yeah.
And well, we couldn't figure out if she was in America now or back then from the way the last one was written.
Yeah, it was the way the last one was written was a bit strange, but
it sounded like she came to meet him, and Saya was being sent to America now in modern day.
Yeah.
Rather than back then.
It seems that was another flashback. Yeah. So she hasn't been at DDL since Saya was sent off.
Yeah.
And now she's here again because Leon is gone DMIA.
Yeah. So, but this is not after the cafe scene. This wasn't AG leaves and she goes in. No. Or she leaves. Because Leon's already dead. Or DMIA. So it's a little bit after that. So she had another appointment with him before that.
Which might have been the Saya being shipped off to America one.
No, because Saya was shipped off to America in the past.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
But the end of that, she was sitting in the lobby. That's what I mean. So what that sitting in the lobby isn't when they crossed paths. You know when she crosses paths with AG in the trailer? That's not this part where she was sitting in the lobby getting distracted by the ball things.
Yeah.
So she had been there before.
To see Saya off.
When AG was there.
Yeah.
Saya was sent off before AG was born.
To America.
Yes. That's what we just said.
Do I need to draw up another timeline?
No, because you're not good at drawing with the mouse.
You do it then.
I did it on my phone and it was much prettier. Color coded and everything.
So we're gonna have a new co-host from next week.
That is mom.
Yeah, for real this time. Because you just don't learn your lessons.
But she has definitely had 2 appointments with him in the last week.
That or I guess
because AG
was Leon. Hold on, was Leon DMIA the first time?
No, because they'd just been in the cafe, and then it was when AG left there that he decided he was gonna.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then
take him down or whatever, and then the battle happened.
After his reunion, yeah. And
yeah, AG passed.
Yeah.
But she was there for another reason that day.
See, I would have thought this one where they pass each other is the Saya one, her getting sent off. Like we're flashing back to that to show what happened after this interaction, and now she's been called back in because Leon's been reported as DMIA.
But AG, I don't think AG was. No, because that's literally after they left. Them passing in the hall is after he left, and then went and attacked Leon.
That's what I'm saying to you. That's exactly what I'm saying to you. This is Yulin meeting Ryu Senji because Saya's being shipped off to America.
No, we said.
Then this meeting is Yulin having come back to DDL because Leon is now DMIA.
What I'm saying is we decided last week, the way we interpreted it was that Saya was sent off to America almost immediately before the rebranding, when it was still Ryu Senji Electronics, back when it just happened. So AG couldn't have been there.
But because we know because AG has seen D4 and we know there was somebody in a sheet there.
Okay, so it must have been that. But last week we decided that was otherwise.
I'd have to go back to chapter 1, but I'm pretty sure we know that there was somebody there was somebody in.
I think Leon knew that.
But either way, that helps my theory even more. That's.
Then, like you were saying, she was the first. It doesn't mean she's the
only.
Yeah. So.
Like, so I guess this is Saya in the chair now. This face doesn't look like her, but I guess we just have to infer. Or this is or this could be Kosuke, actually.
Yeah.
Get atop the bed. Wore a helmet. A hacker who worked for the laboratory. Logged more hours mind late than anyone else. Yeah, all right. So that image is probably Kosuke.
Yeah. No. That might be someone else. It's a little confusing.
Well, so I mean,
just says their Digimon ran into trouble.
Yeah, which we now know that trouble to be the initial Tartarus program.
Yeah.
So I reckon this person
and convulsing and all that was that. I suppose they woke up and then they were stabilized. They found out about Saya. Yeah. So yeah. Maybe it's Kosuke.
I'd say this one in the chair is Kosuke because I think if it was the other two, the body would be more feminine.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is.
So I'm saying maybe it's just somebody else.
I think we'd know if there were others. I think by now they'd have mentioned, after the incident with Saya, we tried again, and there's been many different. Unfortunately, we've lost too many good people. Yeah. I think eventually, because if this happens frequently enough, this gets shut down eventually, regardless.
Yeah.
People have to start asking questions, and Yulin has to start, poking the bear a bit more, so to speak. However, not a single person who's been determined DMIA has naturally regained. Can't even locate the lost hackers. Now, this implies there's been a bunch of them. Yeah. Going back to chapter fucking 2, 3.
Yeah.
This implies like there's been more than one, but they can't all be in capsules in America.
Yeah. The Yeah, they said it like they spent more time mind linked than anyone. So that definitely wasn't Saya.
No, because she could, even though she had high bond levels, she couldn't stay in it long because she
kept getting sick.
Yeah, so I reckon I think that's meant to be Kosuke. So then I'm just looking for something when Eiji and Ryusenji are first talking, and he shows him D4 and everything.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing if there was something for like a body on the table or something. I feel like this might be where we really need to start looking at the fan translation rather than.
Yeah, it might be time to go back and read that. Even just for ourselves.
Because I really do think that.
Is it still being translated?
I need to double check that one as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if Onke-kun has sort of given up on it.
Like everyone?
Well, no, just because, I mean, is it worth your while?
Yeah.
That's
what I mean. Like everyone. Everyone else has given up on it. Why continue?
Yeah. Like, I really do still feel like 2-9 now, with the context of 3-7 and 3-8 now. 2-9 was Yulin being called in to see Saya off.
Right.
So the footage that Ryusenji has here is like recent footage.
Yeah.
And then 3-8, she's been called back in. This is at 3-8 now. She's been called back in from the end of 3-7 because Leon has gone DMIA.
Yeah.
So I think what we're meant to infer is 2-9 happens, and then while 2-10 through 13 is going on, Yulin's flashing back and remembering everything. Or, sorry, these all happen, and then Yulin's been called in again, and we get all these flashbacks, and we meet up with Yulin being called in for 3-8.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to go back and do another read through and kind of.
Yeah, because it's not laid out well.
No, there's no exact timeline. Like, it's hard to judge some of it because of the way it's written.
And we know from like chapter 1 there was just there was a whole paragraph that just never got translated.
Yeah.
About the parts being like tough to come across and like red ocean strategy and things like that.
Yeah.
So it is entirely possible that the official, I say that word, I use those words very lightly. The official translation, is missing a bit of context that would, give us perspective. So
yeah, because what happened last week is we couldn't tell when it went from flashback to modern day.
Yeah, and that's how we ended up spending an hour drawing up a timeline.
Yeah, so it'd be nice if we had like a concrete timeline of stuff.
Yeah. I'll look into it between now and 3-9.
Yeah.
But I think the context we're meant to take is 2-9 is her being called in to see Saya off.
Yeah.
And 3-7, when we meet her in the lobby again, she's thinking, oh God, it's happened again. I've been called in for this. Yeah. And this is why she's thinking back to Saya. Yeah. Because she's only seen Saya last week. And now it's happened again so soon. That might be sort of the best way to look at that.
Yeah.
Because in the space of a week now, Yulin's had to look at 2 DMIA patients.
Yeah.
And even then, she said like his lips are dry and his Leon's lips are dry and his cheeks are gone, just like Saya's.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I feel like her being in the capsule is what stops her from aging, though.
Possibly.
Because he said this is the most recent footage I've gotten. So she's only been there a week.
Yeah. I mean, they could be sending him like updates
daily
of
clips or something.
Daily clips or something, yeah. Rather than have a camera on her 24/7. They just record for like 15-20 minutes and go, here's how she is, here's her stat readout.
Yeah.
There's been no change.
You could afford to have a live feed all day.
Probably, but that's
But yeah, if anyone in the comments, if you have any thoughts on the timeline of this, let us know.
Please do, because
it'd be nice to get other people's perspective on it.
This half-assed AI translation that's being topped up by an intern is starting to annoy me for things like this.
Yeah.
But I think that's everything. Like that's like the fan art. There's no new fan art on the website. So
are there any comments?
Yeah, let me have a look.
Oh, yeah, I saw the subscriber number.
We've one from Ali saying 3-7 is neat. Would have liked to see how the Digi-police was formed.
Yeah, that would be like we know how Yulin got in there, but how it became what it is, that would be an interesting story.
Yeah, I guess governments got involved eventually, and
they needed cybersecurity, and eventually Digimon became a part of that.
Yeah,
because they would.
See, nothing held for review, and YouTube doesn't appear to be hiding it. Oh, we have comments from Desmond saying warp digivolve. You can say what?
Who warp digivolved?
Is that a
digivolve into the Flash?
Yeah, is that a joke on that? And
unless we said something that we don't remember.
Love is dead. Fair enough, Desmond.
Oh, is that because we were like, oh, and she's the third wheel?
Yeah.
Or because Saya is basically dead.
Yeah, probably that one. Kosuke's love is dead. Oh no, wait, sorry. I think that's that's Pedja. Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry. So used to Ali just commenting every week.
Oh yeah, there's a
yeah. It's just I don't know what YouTube's new thing about just having
usernames. It's because you can put your own tag on it now. So if people haven't done that, no, it is Ali.
Oh, that's weird. Why the P then?
YouTube is weird.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is Ali.
Yeah, YouTube's just being weird then.
Yeah, usually it's just a capital A.
Yeah, usually it's just a capital A on a teal background. So I usually know who it is because the usernames come up on the mobile comments. So
weird.
Yeah, but anyway,
get your shit together.
Yeah, stupid YouTube. Anyway, but that's I don't have anything else for this.
No.
Really want to see where next week goes. I guess we bring AG back into the story next week.
Satsuki and AG get to meet up, but she can't be mad at him because his friend is basically dead.
Yeah.
But she's there desperately wanting to give out to him.
Honestly, I am living for more AG Satsuki interactions.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like I am. I'm chomping at the bit for more of that. So please, please don't let me down on that one.
Yeah, I think it'll take more than a chapter though, because he's going to be depressed right now.
Yeah.
Especially being questioned. I don't know how that's going to go. Is he just going to own up and then we're like, well, shit. AG has the idiot ball again.
Well, all he has to do is say, look, they got into a fight and then Omegamon turned up. What was he meant to do?
Yeah. And what were you doing there? What were you doing there to begin with? Having smoothies?
Yeah. So yeah, look, I'm very curious. Like, even if we only get AG and Yulin interacting properly next week, I'm happy enough with that. But if we do get AG and Satsuki banter, yeah, just hook that to my veins, please. Just take it to my veins. But yeah, any final thoughts on your end?
No, I think we covered everything.
Okay, cool. So yeah, well, guys, look, we'll leave it there. There is no live show tonight or this coming Sunday. So next week we'll be back with Digimon Seekers 3-8, and then that night we will have provided we don't move between now and then.
Yeah,
that's not looking likely, but you never know. You never know, but in theory, at the very least, we should be coming back next Wednesday with Digimon Seekers 3-8. Sorry, 3-9. And our first foray into the Digimon Survive Golden route.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. Yeah, I am as well. I miss the Survive characters. It's been about 1.5 years now since we hung out with them. So the
last time you hung out with them was traumatizing.
It was. You
did the bad route.
3 routes of trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, the Wrath route is. God, I hate it.
Yeah.
Just this once, Rose. Everybody dies. But yeah, so hope you guys will tune in for that and see if we can survive the Kemonogami world one more time. And yeah,
see if our stream survives the software updates.
Yeah, I think that's sorted.
Hopefully sorted. Yeah.
So look, guys, we're done and dusted here. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you had fun. Let us know where you think the story is going to go from here. Let us know your thoughts on this chapter, and what else are you looking for from Digimon Seekers for what may be left of its runtime, or how far do you think it's going to go? Let us.
Who's your favorite character?
Yeah.
Anything.
Is there any? Here's your homework, chat. Tell us who your favorite character is, and tell us what part of this story, function-wise or storytelling-wise, you'd like to see implemented into a new anime or manga.
Yeah.
Right, so that's your homework, and you know, head pats for the because I can't say prizes. I don't have prizes to give out, but head pats for the best ones. All right, guys, we're out. Much love.
Love Peace. You guys.
See you soon. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Dun dun. Da, 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 da.